Research.
Paul Gary, DFA. Joel DeDippa, DFA.
And Ron Sheldon, DFA.
Joel, I have to apologize for what I'm doing.
Mr. Anger requested that I take his place up here. He said that I'm more likely to say more or less depending on the circumstance.
All right. Joy?
Sure, the first set of proposals deal with the net operating loss deduction. I'll go through the background first, and then I'll go through each proposal along with the relevant fiscal impact after I go through the background that applies to generally all of them. Under current Arkansas law, the net operating losses can be carried back for a maximum of 5 years. There is no allowance for can be carried forward for 5 years. There's no allowance to be carried back for any period of time. If the taxpayer is not a C corporation, then the amount deductible for losses from sales or exchanges of capital assets can't exceed the amount includable for gains from those types of assets. In 1957, the net operating loss carry-forward period was established at 3 years. In 1987, it was extended to 5 years, and it hasn't been changed since then, so the 5-year carry-forward period has been in place since 1987. The recent changes to federal law allow for an indefinite carry-forward and prohibits any carryback. It also limits the amount of net operating losses that may be deducted in a single year to the lesser of the carryover or 80% of the taxpayer's pre-net operating loss taxable income. With respect to the other states, Iowa just this month passed a tax reform bill, so a lot of theirs has changed very recently. But they are currently a static conformity state, which means that they adopt the federal tax laws as of a specific date. And so changes in federal tax laws, including the recent changes, are not automatically incorporated into the state's laws. So they are looking at a carry-forward period of 20 years and a carry-back period of 2 years. So far, they have not adopted the federal changes on net operating loss, but part of their tax reform bill was to work toward being a rolling conformity state. So at some point, I would expect that they would adopt those changes. Louisiana is a rolling conformity state. So generally, their law is going to match the federal law unless they specifically decouple from that. Louisiana has decoupled from federal net operating loss provisions. They allow a deduction equal to 72% of the net operating loss for the taxable year, and it cannot exceed 72% of their income. They have a 20-year carry-forward period and no carryback. Mississippi, like Arkansas, is a non-conformity state, so that state adopts provisions just as they decide. They have not adopted federal law on net operating losses. They can carry forward for a maximum of 20 years, carry back for a maximum of 2 years, and they do not limit the amount of net operating losses that may be deducted. Missouri is a rolling conformity state, so there's automatically updates unless they decouple. They do conform to the federal law, except with respect to some special federal rules for insurance companies. And so unless Missouri decides to decouple from the changes that the federal government made, they will match what the current federal law is. Oklahoma is the same. They're rolling conformity states. They mostly conform to the federal law, and so unless they decouple, they will match the new federal net operating loss rules. Tennessee is a rolling conformity state, but they have decoupled from the federal rules on net operating losses. They have a 15-year carry-forward period and no carryback period, but they do not limit the amount of net operating losses that may be deducted. And then Texas has no net operating loss deduction for their franchise tax. That's the basics of the background on the net operating loss. Proposal 1A is to incrementally increase the net operating loss carry-forward period to 10 years. DFNA's fiscal analysis, you can see right there that it at 16 years plus would have an impact of $64.8 million. And DFNA stated that the impact would begin in the 6th year after enactment because it allows for the current 5-year carry-forward period. Proposal 1B would be to incrementally increase the net operating loss carry-forward period to 20 years. Again, this would start with the 6th year after enactment, allowing for the current 5-year carry-forward period. DFNA's fiscal impact, you can see on The proposal ends with a year 35 and after, an impact of $158.35 million. Proposal 2 is to repeal the